Hi, I am Chase Brott. I'm 23, living in Georgia right now, and just kind of wanted to start off by going into a little bit of my experience, my life. I have worked a couple different jobs up to this point, and so far I've already learned in this course that we all come in with our own project management experience. And the more that I thought about it, the more that I realized that the jobs that I've already had have taught me a lot and brought me a long way into the project management field. I've worked as a supervisor in a couple of different customer service jobs. I've worked as a carpenter in kind of the construction industry, and then as a facilities manager for a couple of buildings for a period of time. I think each of these have taught me a good bit in my customer service experience. I worked with food service and with retail, and in both of those, um, the client I kind of saw as the customer, and then the product was the either food or the clothing that we were trying to sell to the client. And so it was really cool being able to be a part of those teams and really help all of my coworkers and my team learn how to create the product up to the product specifications, whether it was making a drink at Starbucks or a food item, or kind of setting up the shop to be most appealing to the client, so that we can really deliver the products well. I think we encountered a lot of different contingencies there, whether it was a coworker not coming in at the right time, or the system going down, or there being some sort of miscommunication with a client, where I personally would have to learn how to communicate with them and work together to give them the product that they're really looking for. And so that was a really cool experience, being able to work in the construction industry as a carpenter. Was able to teach me a little bit more on a bigger scale, where we would have these large product orders, large product projects where we would be furnishing pretty much an entire house. And the timetable that one of the clients in particular had was very ambitious, and we weren't able to deliver based off their specifications. And so I was just working as a one of the builders, and I would build um, cabinets on a daily basis. And so that was interesting to be able to manage just tasks and subtasks, because we would be trying to produce a certain amount of cabinets or couches or tables on a daily basis. And so we would have multiple projects or multiple tasks happening simultaneously. But in the particular um, encounter that I was previously talking about, I was able to witness as the project manager for that specific project, talked with the client, and tried to really go back and set those expectations and communicate where we were at and how we needed more resources and more time to allocate to give them the products up to the criteria that they were really expecting and hoping for. And so that was really interesting. And then as a facility manager, I was able to learn a lot. I had a team base that were all kind of custodial workers that I had maintaining the facilities up to cleanliness and organizational standards. But we also had some big projects that we were working on, with some AC renovation and roof renovation that we were doing to kind of up the quality of the building itself. And so that was really a huge learning curve for myself. And I wasn't able to see the project from start to finish, but I was able to kind of be an intermediate stand-in as one of the facility managers, and see a good bit of that process as different tasks were going on at the same time. And working around a lot of contingencies that popped up with mold that we found, with some of the businesses that we hired out to be able to do kind of fix some of those projects, not communicating well with us. And so just this line of communication that we had to work through was really interesting, and definitely taught me a lot of what to do and what not to do in the project management field. And so I think I've seen that I am really good at working around contingencies and thinking on my feet and working around situations that don't go as expected and trying to problem solve and come up with solutions on the fly. That's something that I really enjoy. That's something that I feel like I really excel at. Something that I am seeing very early on in this course that I could use a lot of work in is just the project planning, and seeing that the more work that goes into actually planning ahead for the project, the more that we're able to minimize those risks and contingencies that can pop up. And it's something that I have not always done a great job of prioritizing, but I can already see has huge benefits later on down the line. And so that's definitely a risk of mine, but I think I am excited to be able to learn as this course progresses how to really deal with that. And in terms of this course, I think I am really excited at the fact that it is framed as a project, and all of our assignments are products that we are delivering, and we are given the product specifications and the assignment details, and then we have a rubric that we know how it's going to be based off of, and so we have that quality criteria. It's really cool to me that it's set up the same way that every other course I've taken throughout my life is, but through the framework of it being a project, can really help me automatically put the principles that we're learning in the course into practice, and to see them played out in real life, to take into the real world and to take into future courses as I work towards my major. So I think I'm really excited for that. I think the kind of highest expectation that I have for this course is that I walk away with a lot of skills and resources and tools that I haven't previously had, because I have a lot of experience, but I don't have the terminology, and I don't have the visualization of how to really do a project well from start to finish. And so being able to take some of those skills and resources away from this course and be able to implement them is something that I really am excited to do. I think worst case scenario would be that either I don't deliver enough of the products up to the quality criteria and I don't get the grade that I'm looking for. But I think another alternative is that I walk away with a decent grade, but I don't retain the information. I think that's very valuable to me, but something that would be a real travesty would be to just walk away with a grade but not actually have the tangible skills that I'm looking forward to gaining during this course. I've had a couple of different scenarios where I've had feedback given actually quite a bit throughout my life. And I think what I've realized is that I appreciate honest feedback. I think encouragement is needed and to be able to see what I'm doing well. But I think the real takeaways that I get are where I fall short. And so I appreciate brutal honesty and vulnerability. I have pretty thick skin, and so I appreciate tough criticism because that helps me know where I need to improve and how I need to grow moving forward. And so really excited for that. I think I am excited to figure out how to most optimize my schedule to be able to give to this course with the COVID-19 going around and the pandemic that's created. It's already easy to see that it's going to create some strain in the time that's given to this course, having to work a job and knowing that this is an expectation of about 20 hours a week. I've had to take a look at my schedule and allocate about 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, to be able to stay on top of it. Being able to work 4 hours a day, I think I will be able to complete the task that is given for that day and then work ahead a little bit, because I've seen that there's stuff due there's like a product that's expected almost every single day. And so being able to work ahead a little bit will give me some wiggle room when contingencies do pop up to be able to work around that a little bit more. And if that's not the case, then I plan on just contacting other project managers and specifically contacting the client, the professor, to be able to work around that timetable and figure out a way of still being able to produce those products and move along with the project as expected. And so that's my plan. I look forward to working more.